We are at the midpoint of the Dragon Ball Super manga superhero arc, and of course with the latest chapter coming out, that is to say chapter 94, we at 5-9 decided that we need to start talking about the manga once again. It's been a hot minute since we've covered the manga in a video format, and of course it has been a while since we've covered anything in regards to the Dragon Ball media that's not a game on this channel. So we decided, you know what better time to start than at the midpoint of the Dragon Ball Super manga's superhero run. Of course, today we'll talk about not only the latest chapter, but generally I, your host, Gail Riot, will be talking about everything that's happened so far. We'll talk about how Toyotaro has been handling the reproduction of the movie into manga format, and generally I want to know what you guys think in the comment section down below in regards to how the manga has been going. Because to be quite honest, I'm not gonna lie, I don't think I've seen that many people talk about the manga, and I get it because, you know, of course they're just reproducing the movie into manga format, but surprisingly I feel like I haven't seen that many people talk about it, and I have a couple of theories as to why. Now you guys can let me know if I'm right or wrong down below in the comment section below, but without further ado, I think we should just talk about the latest chapter, and then towards the end of the video we can just talk about everything that's happened so far. So let's get into the chapter review. Hopefully you guys enjoy this video. Remember to leave a like down below, and of course subscribe to the channel for more manga content. Let us know what you guys would like to see in the future. Maybe we can have some more guests on in the future. We definitely want to bring on people like Minato. We want to try and bring on maybe Goresh in the future. Maybe when we get back to some of the more interesting stuff that's happened recently in the Gas arc, for example, with a certain Frieza, we want to bring on people like that. So let us know who would you like to see in the future in regards to guests or hosts or whoever it may be. We will try and bring them onto the channel for some manga content. But yes, like I said, let me know your thoughts in regards to the chapter and the Toyotaro arc as well. But yeah, let's talk about chapter 94 now. The superhero arc, like I said at the start of the video, has hit its midpoint. We are literally at the middle of the arc. We've seen Gohan enter the Red Ribbon Army base to try and rescue Pan, and actually I'm jumping ahead a little bit. This was actually the middle of the manga chapter, funnily enough. We should go back to the start where we basically saw, you know, Piccolo helping kidnap Pan, basically. That was literally the start of this chapter, and overall I think it was handled well. I think, you know, Toyotaro has been doing a great job in terms of replicating the movie into manga format. Admittingly, I will say this, it's still got the same issues as the previous manga chapters, and I'll talk about that later on in the video in more detail, is that it's going by too fast. I'm not gonna lie, everything is just going by super fast, and I don't know if it's because it's in manga format, so the panels are obviously not showing the entire visual thing, and I'm thinking of the movie at the same time, right, where the scenes are a little bit more drawn out because you have to take into consideration that they're going through frames and stuff like that, right? It's more of a process, whereas panels are just like certain image and certain moments just plastered all over the pages, right? Which obviously, well, I don't mean that in a negative connotation, but you know what I mean, right? They have to be, the manga panels are just there, whereas the video slash movie has to be a little bit more spread out. Basically the visual format has to be spread out a little bit more, right? So of course that's one of the issues that I noticed immediately with this chapter still, is that he's just zooming. I don't know if it's just me, but I do feel that way, that Toyotaro is just zooming more so than usual, I feel like, because we went from the kidnapping to Pan and Piccolo talking on the airplane to then all of a sudden we're there, the video is being recorded and everything, and then they're at Gohan's place, like within like 10 pages. It was literally 10 pages and we were already at Gohan's place, where they were basically like, here you go, we've kidnapped your daughter, come with us. And Gohan obviously scared the other guy and just, you know, absolutely blew him away, of course, which was hilarious. And he even got scared. He even, the guy who he yelled at, number 15 as I like to call him, I keep forgetting if he had a name in the movie or not, but I call him number 15 because of his you know, his armor piece and saying 15, right? Number 15 basically was like, would you like to come with us? Maybe, right? Would you kindly come with us? And he's like, just lead the way, I'll follow you guys, and you're in big trouble. And it's like, okay buddy. And Piccolo's just there like fist pumping, which I really liked. I think I really liked the moments with Piccolo and how Toyotaro put that across, right, with how Piccolo was organizing everything, right, in regards to Gohan trying to rescue Pan and everything. I think it was extremely well done and well handled. In terms of the main scene, right, which is the Gohan landing in the rain, going up against Gamma, Gamma's 1 and 2, of course, or, facing them, at least initially, of course, right? He was, of course, going up against Gamma 1 first and then Gamma 2, and I feel like the movie handled that a little bit better, but that was, of course, the visual of, like, when Gohan lands, the water droplets, the Red Ribbon Army grunts just flying away, spreading out, basically, from Gohan's landing. I feel like the movie definitely had more of a visual impact, but I do feel like Toyotaro tried his best. You could see that there was a panel with like the water droplets coming up and everything. I think it was well handled. The dialogue itself as well, talking about the dialogue from Toyotaro's end, I think, well done. Of course, it can't be the same drawn out dialogue that's in the movie. It's very much straightforward. They try and incorporate as much of the movie into the manga as well, and I think they do a really good job there. But overall, again, it just goes by really quickly. Again, it takes the best moments and the most significant moments from the movie, puts it in the manga, but you also feel like there's moments missing, certain key intersections that are missing from the manga, because it can't be translated from the movie to the manga, because otherwise the manga would be much larger as a result of that, right? This chapter would probably have to be split into 2 chapters instead because of that, right? And I think that, Toyotaro at this point just wants to, I don't know if it's Toyotaro or Shueisha or who it is, but they're just like, let's just get to the end of this now. Let's just get to the end of the superhero arc so that we can get into the big daddy stuff with Frieza and everything. But I don't know. I have no idea how the reasoning works for, at Shueisha and Toyotaro, to be quite honest, what is being discussed there in regards to how they're handling the superhero stuff. But either way, I think it's been handled well otherwise. I do believe that. I think, you can see that the paneling, the drawing, well done. I feel like he's done his best to try and replicate the movie. And I think that's one thing he's done well. While he's gone by really quickly in terms of the chapters, I genuinely feel like it was just yesterday we were on the Goten and Trunks stuff for the manga, and now we're already here in the middle of the superhero arc. It feels like, overall still though, when it comes to translating the movie art style to the manga, Toyotaro has done a brilliant job there, I must admit. You can tell that it has its similarities to the movie while also being its own style as well. Toyotaro has definitely handled it very, very nicely and done it well, I would say. Done it well. And of course, we get to the fight moment where Gohan goes Super Saiyan, and generally, that was also well handled, I feel like, with the whole situation there. Then, of course, we went and checked out the next section and the end of the story where Piccolo is threatening to, beat up Pan, and even Gamma 2, I think, was like, brother, hold on a second, what are you doing over there? And then obviously Gohan goes ultimate, and that's where they cut off, basically. That panel of Gohan going ultimate, really nice. Obviously, they can't do the same thing as the movie where he, bursts open the clouds, makes it sunny again and everything. But overall, still though, the beam of light, they show the clouds parting. Everything was done fantastic. And overall, I feel like this chapter was very nice, if a bit fast. I think overall, the adaptation from the movie to the manga has been done well here. The paneling, well done. Overall, Toyotaro has done a great job. Definitely like his work in terms of how he's replicating the art style in his own way, of course, but at the same time maintaining that style though. At the same time, I think that's something that's well done. The dialogue, again, pretty straightforward, very similar to the movie, but has some slight changes here and there to make sure that it fits the manga, panels and everything. So overall, well done from Toyotaro. Really like this chapter. We're obviously progressing now into the next half of the superhero movie, basically the second half, which is of course the action-packed stuff. I'm very much looking forward to it. Of course, I think next chapter, I do believe, and this is my prediction, it might be spoilers in a way, but I mean, if you haven't watched the superhero movie, I mean, at this point, I can't help you. It's on DVD now. It's available online. You guys probably should have watched it. But I do think that it's very likely that this next chapter, we could either end it at potentially Cell Max being awakened or Orange Piccolo. I do think it'll probably be Cell Max with the pace that we're going at. I'm not gonna lie, it's probably gonna be when Cell Max awakens, and then at the end, and then the next chapter after that, I was struggling to speak there because I was just like, wait, how do chapters work? But 2 chapters from now and the chapter after the next, I think we're gonna wrap up the entire superhero stuff, which means I do think that we only have like 2, maybe 3 chapters left for superhero. I don't think we're gonna go over that. So we're pretty much coming to an end. By August or September, I think we should be done with the superhero stuff. So it's gonna be very interesting to see where they go from here, of course. But yeah, let's talk about generally Dragon Ball Super's manga run of superhero. What do I think about it, right? And I think the main problem I've had with the superhero arc is it's been a bit too fast. I mean, at the same time, I get why they might be going too fast because obviously it's something that's been in movies already. They're just trying to get past this arc so that they can get to the major arc with Frieza, Broly, Goku, Vegeta again, which, I mean, I understand for sure why they're going down that route, but I feel like it's been a little bit too fast at times. You know, you spend a minute with the manga chapter and you're already done with like 90% of, you know, they go through like 20 to 25% of the movie in one chapter, and it's crazy. I said 90%, but like 90% of the chapter is just them zooming through basically, right? And it feels like there's no stopping moment. There's no like moment to breathe in and dissect everything. That's something I really liked about Toyotaro in a way with the gas arc, was that maybe you could argue that the gas arc was a little bit drawn out, but there were moments to, you know, experience, you know, things like Ultra Ego, things like perfected Ultra Instinct. Of course, we saw even Black Frieza. I feel like we had that moment to breathe in that happened, you know? Whereas now it's just like zoom, 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 point A, point B, point C, point D, keep going all over the place. And I feel like that is a little bit of a problem because you don't get connected with the manga run of superhero as a result of that. Again, I get it why, because of course the movie is a thing, everybody's already seen the movie. I think they're just trying to, you know, process the arc in the manga so that we can say it's there and move on. But at the same time, I feel like maybe you might have argued that it could have been better to do it the same way they did Broly, where it was just two manga pages of Goku, Vegeta fighting Broly and then starting off the Moro arc, right? I think you could argue that that might have been better, maybe, but I don't know. I don't know their reasoning. I don't know what Shueisha thinks in terms of, you know, the manga chapters and stuff, because I assume there's obviously a lot of control there in terms of the direction Toyotaro goes in and stuff like that. If Shueisha says, can you maybe do the superhero arc in the manga? He kind of has to, because the IP is majorly owned by them, right? And then, of course, Toriyama, if he says, yeah, I agree, and it's like, okay, well, Toyotaro kind of then has to do that, right? He kind of has to do that. So it's a very interesting situation, and I'm very much interested to see like how fast they process through the next couple of chapters, because again, like I said, I expect it to end within like 2 or 3 chapters. They're just zooming through everything, to be quite honest. Generally though, I want to talk a bit about the Goten and Trunks stuff first and foremost, because we didn't have an opportunity to actually talk about that. If you look at the 59 Anime Manga channel, funnily enough, I think our last chapter review was on Black Frieza, funnily enough. So, of course, going from there to now, we've kind of missed a lot on the Goten and Trunks stuff and everything, right? So I want to talk a little bit about the Goten and Trunks stuff, and I enjoyed that. I definitely did enjoy that slice of life, getting an opportunity to, experience a little bit of time with Goten and Trunks, because, usually nowadays, I feel like we're just ignoring those 2 characters entirely. I definitely like the time we spent with them. Obviously, I had some issues, and I know a lot of people had issues with the whole Trunks and Mai subplot and all that jazz. I definitely like Goten's character a lot more because of the Goten and Trunks stuff, and I feel like these are 2 characters that probably deserve a little bit more time, but how can you give them more time when, you can't really put them against, like, characters like Goku, Vegeta, Gohan, Piccolo now, especially with their new transformations. In terms of power, they're going to be as gag characters, which is unfortunate, because I genuinely believe, at one point Goten and Trunks could have been so much more. And of course, if you look at GT, they were the same. It was the same issue there. They weren't doing unbelievably amounts of work, right? They weren't doing crazy amounts of work. Trunks at least had some role to play in obviously finding the Black Star Dragon Balls and all that jazz, and of course at the end of Dragon Ball GT when they were all trying to go up against Sin. But it was the same thing with Goten. He was going to be a part of the adventure. got canned because of Pan, and then at the end he came in for a little bit. It's the same thing here, it feels like, where Goten and Trunks will make their appearances in some of the major fights, but then they're just going to be throwaway, put to the side, you know, for the big daddy characters in Vegeta, Broly, so on and so forth, basically, right? Goku, Gohan, and so on. So yeah, I think it was a very nice thing, and I really like that they did that, because we got some time to experience you know, their personalities, their characters, and all that jazz. I think it was very well done. And then of course the superhero stuff, when we got to it, like I said, too fast, but dialogue, paneling, art style has been brilliant from Toyotaro's end. Obviously I definitely still prefer the movie a little bit, of course, right? Because of course visually, when you see it the first time, it's much better than what I thought it would have been, considering 3D CGI and stuff. But still, you know, I feel like the art style and everything fits the movie here. Maybe not so much, obviously, because it's singular panels, it doesn't feel the same way as it did in the movie, you know, experiencing it in the theaters and stuff. So there is that factor. I definitely do feel that way. But yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. I enjoyed chapter 94. I'm very much looking forward to the upcoming 2 chapters or 3 chapters remaining of the superhero arc. I wonder if we've actually been told that there's a couple of chapters left. I should probably do some research after this video, or if you guys know, let us know in the comment section down below, because I don't think they've mentioned anything about the arc ending immediately in the next 2 or 3 chapters and a new arc starting. They've just been making the chapters as they go along. I don't think anything's been mentioned. I should probably research that. But yeah, let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section below. If you guys enjoyed this video, remember to leave a like, subscribe to the channel for more Dragon Ball Super manga and anime content whenever we do get the anime, of course, back, hopefully in the future. That copium is still going strong, clearly. But yes, whenever it does come back, we will be covering it on the channel. Thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I will see you guys in the next one. Take it easy, everybody. Bye-bye.